Ejike's mother vowed it would be over her dead body they would be happy in that marriage. Everyone told her to leave her son to his choice, but she seemed to have taken things personally. As Ejike and Amaka lived their lives together, they faced unforeseen challenges that tested the strength of their bond. Despite their best efforts, Ejike's business eventually faltered, leaving them in a precarious financial situation. Once upon a time in Omoala village, there lived a young girl named Amaka. She was born into poverty with no family to support her. Trying to survive, she found a job in a small bush bar that served both food and companionship to its customers in their village. Amaka never wished for such a life. Every day at the bar, Amaka served customers who made loud remarks and advances towards her. Though she had always dreamt of a better life, but the harsh reality of life troubled her hope. Amidst the darkness that surrounded her workplace was an irregular customer, Ejike. Unlike the others, Ejike treated her with respect and dignity, offering her words of encouragement and support. Over time, Amaka made a painful choice to serve herself alongside the meals she offered to the customers at the bar. It was a desperate act triggered by her desire for a better future, a way to eke out a meager existence in a world that seemed determined to crush her spirit. Though darkness loomed around her, but in it lived a tiny hope. Ejike saw beyond her life in the bar and recognized the humanity within her, and his words of encouragement offered her a lifeline in her darkest hour. As time went by, Amaka used each hard-earned penny she had saved serving at the bar and enrolled into a nursing school. It was a leap of faith, a courageous step towards a life of dignity and purpose, and to break free from the unethical practices at the bar. While in school, Amaka stayed focused to her studies, avoiding any form of distractions, as she promised herself not to have anything to do with her past life. One day, while she was on her way home from school, she ran into Ejike. At first, she was scared to meet someone who knew of her past, as the memories of her past immediately flooded her mind. But Ejike, who had always been supportive, greeted her with a warm smile, respect and admiration for the woman she had become. They chatted and made joke of a lot of things that happened at the bar. Amaka thanked him for his encouragement and support during her time at the bar, as those helped in shaping her life. From that day onwards, Ejike paid her an often visit in the school. He admired her intelligence, wit, and kindness, and over time, his feelings for her blossomed into love. Every time Ejike visited Amaka, he cherished their conversations, laughter, and the memories they created together. As he spent more time with her, he couldn't deny the growing affection in his heart. One evening, as they sat under a guava tree in Amaka's school, Ejike confessed his love and expressed his desire to make her his wife. Caught off guard by Ejike's unexpected proposal, Amaka's heart skipped a beat. Amaka had distanced her dreams about marriage because of the tumultuous past. But despite the scars, Ejike saw her for who she truly was, a resilient and compassionate woman deserving of love and respect. Amaka, having known Ejike to be different from other men she had met at the bar, knew that in him she had found not just a partner but a kindred spirit, a soul who had walked alongside her in the darkest of nights and have stood by her in her trials. And so she accepted to be his wife. As they planned their marriage, Amaka continued with her studies, and through countless hours of hard work and dedication, she excelled in her studies, proving to herself and the world that she was capable of far more than anyone had ever imagined. After her graduation, Ejike took her to see his parents, who were happy to welcome her into their family. But not until his mother heard of her services at the bar. Ejike's mother was disappointed in him. She was blindsided by the news and couldn't withstand the stigma attached to Amaka's past. Ejike had hoped she would see what he saw in Amaka. One evening, Ejike's mother sat him down and said to him, "My son, I know you care for Amaka, but she's had a bad history and I'm worried it might bring trouble into your life. Please, my son, do not marry that loose woman." Ejike had always been a devoted son, taking his mother's advice to heart in every aspect of his life, but his mind was already made up on marrying Amaka. He told his mother that everyone has a past, and what matters is who she is now, and Amaka has turned her life around. Despite all that Ejike had told her, she still objected his decision to marry Amaka. But regardless of her objections, Ejike and Amaka chose to follow their hearts and proceed with their marriage. Ejike's father does not have interest in Amaka's past, but her present and future, and so he supported his son. And with his kinsmen, Ejike was accompanying to his in-laws. He married Amaka. Ejike's mother vowed it would be over her dead body they would be happy in that marriage. Everyone told her to leave her son to his choice, but she seemed to have taken things personally. As Ejike and Amaka lived their lives together, they faced unforeseen challenges that tested the strength of their bond. Despite their best efforts, Ejike's business eventually faltered, leaving them in a precarious financial situation. Amaka's nursing work at the village clinic failed to provide enough income to support their family, and so she decided to explore alternative means of survival. In a desperate bid to make ends meet, she turned to breaking and selling of stones, a grueling and physically demanding job that offered little in return. As she toiled under the scorching sun, she persevered for the fierce love she had for her family and an unwavering commitment to ensuring their well-being. Irrespective of the troubles they faced, Amaka's faith never failed. As they continued to bear children, her mother-in-law threw them out of the house. She told her that she can never come to her house and take over by turning it into a baby-making factory. Though their house was not such a big house, but Ejike and his wife Amaka were comfortable managing one of the rooms. She kicked them out and reserved the rooms for her other sons, who were doing well in a big city. Despite the fact that Ejike was the first child, her hatred for Amaka, who she addressed as a loose woman, had clouded her sense of reasoning. Ejike took his family to live in one of his uncle's house. While they were there, Amaka stepped up in an extraordinary way, utilizing the savings she had painstakingly accumulated from her hard labor, and single-handedly built a 4-bedroom bungalow and a well for her family. Their marriage was blessed with 6 children, 5 boys and a girl. Amaka toiled to make sure her children have shelter, food, and clothes. Despite her efforts to provide for her children, even in the absence of their father's support, they all turned against her, treated and avoided her like a leper. Unknown to Amaka, her children were influenced by their grandmother's manipulation. They refused to acknowledge her sacrifices or offer her the support and love she so needed. Despite Amaka's tireless effort to nurture and provide for them with love and care, they remained distant and cold, their hearts hardened by the poison of their grandmother's deceit. But amidst the pain and heartache, Amaka refused to lose hope. As time took its relentless march forward and her only daughter, Ola, got married and became pregnant, Amaka, with joy in her heart, prepared for the role of a grandmother. When the news of the baby's birth got to her, eager to share in the joy of the new addition to the family, she went to babysit her grandchild. with the hope of reconnecting with her daughter and create a deeper bond. However, what awaited her was a heartbreaking reality. Instead of warmth and affection, she was treated like a stranger as her daughter Ola denied her the basic necessities of food and care. She was humiliated and fed spoiled food. Amaka endured the pain in silence. She couldn't comprehend how the daughter she had loved and nurtured could treat her with such callousness and disregard. Though her daughter's actions wounded her deeply, she refused to let bitterness consume her and remained steadfast in love for her grandchild. Although Amaka was blessed with 6 children, she lived as though she was barren. All she does was love and care for them. She made sure they all acquired a skill while they attend secondary school. But her life was marred by the cruel actions of her mother-in-law, who wielded her influence to ensure that Ejike's rich brothers did not support his family. Ejike's brothers helped in training and establishing youths from less privileged backgrounds in their village, but never supported their brother and his family. Over time, Amaka's children started disrespecting their mother openly, throwing stones at her and calling her names. One day, her first son beat her until she fainted and was rushed to the village clinic. Ejike's children were always reported to the elders for their ill behavior towards their mother, Amaka. She tried to stay away from their troubles, but no matter how hard Amaka tried, she could not escape the horrors that awaited her at the hands of her own flesh and blood. They seemed to take pleasure in inflicting pains upon her, laughing cruelly and celebrating their power over her. Amaka endured their abuse in silence with a broken spirit and bruised body. She knew that she had to escape for her own safety. Having thought of that, she told her friend Eberechi, who had been her source of strength, about her decision to leave to save her life. Her friend supported and promised to be there for her whenever she needed her. One night, Amaka disappeared into the darkness with the hope of a better future, far away from the clutches of evil that threatens her life. When the news of her meeting got to the villagers, who had always disciplined her children for their ill behaviors towards her, they called the children and asked them about their mother's whereabouts. The children sounded so uninterested. The elders could not get themselves to understand why Amaka's children hated her with great passion. They wondered if they had killed and buried her without the knowledge of the people, and so they gave them 3-day ultimatum to look for their mother and bring her back, whether dead or alive, or be faced with banishment. Though they sincerely do not know their mother's whereabouts, but their actions led to her disappearance. In a neighboring town, there Amaka found peace living in an abandoned hut near a herbalist. The herbalist was an old frail woman who had no child. Amaka helped her with chores, and soon she began to teach her about the herbs and how they work. They shared their life experiences and then became each other's companion. The herbalist asked Amaka to move into her house, and she did. Not long after she had moved in with the herbalist, her mother-in-law became sick and was brought to the herbalist's hut. The herbalist called Amaka to come and attend to the sick person, and when Amaka came out, she saw it was Ejike's mother, the woman who had made her life a living hell. Regardless of her ill treatment towards her, she attended to her with love. When Ejike's mother got well, she saw it was Amaka, the daughter-in-law she had rejected, that helped her. She bowed her head in shame as she apologized and confessed to have bewitched her sons and grandchildren against Amaka. She pleaded that she forgive her and return to Omala with her, as the villagers had accused her sons of her missing and were set to banish them if they failed to find and bring her back to the village. Amaka, on hearing this, decided to go back to Omala. When she got there, she met a warm welcome from her sons and daughter, who had returned from her husband's house in search of her. The children apologized for the years they had neglected her, expressed their deep regret and gratitude for their mother's love and patience. Amaka's heart was filled with joy and she forgave them without hesitation. She was just grateful to have her family united once more. Ejike's brothers drew closer to their brother and accepted his family. They helped his children in the ways they could and everyone reached their dreams. The family all lived a happy and peaceful life.